Today I'm sharing about James's investing story. So I worked with James. You know how investing can feel completely overwhelming, like there's this secret language that only finance insiders understand. I'm going to share the 7 key takeaways that James took away that completely transformed James's relationship with money and investing. If you've ever felt paralyzed by investing in the stock market, or you just didn't know where to begin, this video is for you. Let's dive in. Let me tell you a little bit more about James. His money was sitting in a savings account earning practically nothing. He had heard about investing, helping to make your money work for you and not just you always working for your money. He wanted to invest but had no idea where to start. He decided to educate himself and sign up for the Beginners Investing Workshop with me. Following the workshop, he shared what he knew, and what he now had was a clear, simple path to follow, an investing plan. He now feels confident that his money is working for him and he actually understands what he's doing. Here are the 7 key takeaways that completely transformed his relationship with money. James's relationship with money was it was non-existent. He had this money sitting there in a normal savings account and he knew that inflation was eating away at it. But every time he tried to research investing, he just got more confused. He didn't know what to start with. It felt like it was alphabet soup. And he was terrified of losing money because he didn't understand what he was doing. But once James saw what his money could potentially become over the long term, if it was invested versus sitting in savings, he literally felt sick. He was leaving thousands and thousands of pounds on the table just because he was too intimidated to learn. That's such a common story. The good news is you don't need a finance degree to invest well. You just need the right plan. Let's break down what James learned in the workshop. Takeaway number 1 was understanding shares and funds. James's first major breakthrough was understanding the fundamental building blocks of investing. It helped him to understand shares and funds. This was brilliant because James is now understanding the basics and the benefits and drawbacks, but more importantly, which one suited him to invest in. Here's the thing. Most beginner investors don't need to pick individual shares. You also have the option to invest in funds. This shift completely took the pressure off of him. He realized he didn't need to become a stock market expert or spend hours and hours researching companies. He could just invest in a diversified way. That felt doable. If you want a sneak peek into the workshop and to learn about the basics like shares and funds, watch the video I made just before this video. I'll leave a link in the description so you can watch it after this video, and it will be at the end. Then James had takeaway number 2. So he realized long-term investing can be simple. James's second realization was about how simple it really was. There's this misconception that you need to be constantly buying and selling, timing the market, watching CNBC all day. That's not the case. Trying to buy low and sell high isn't necessary. The workshop teaches you the best strategy for beginners and what to do when the market dips. Now, takeaway number 3 for James was the power of tax efficiency. Now, beginners completely overlook this, and that is investing tax efficiently. James had no idea this even existed. The workshop taught him this, and let's break down why this matters. If you invest in a regular account, you may pay tax on your earnings when you sell shares. But if you invest through a tax efficient way, all those gains are tax-free forever. Let me put some numbers to this. Imagine James's 12,000 grows to 50,000 over 10 to 15 years. If that was in a regular account, he might owe capital gains tax on that 38,000 profit. Depending on his tax band, that could be thousands of pounds. In a tax efficient account, he keeps every penny. Yes, every penny. Nothing for the taxman here. Now, James knows every pound he invests is working as hard as possible because I'm not giving a chunk to the taxman unnecessarily. This is the kind of thing that can add up to tens of thousands over a lifetime. It may not be sexy, but it's incredibly powerful. Takeaway number 4 is having a framework to follow. And this is what we provided for him in the workshop to guide James. James felt it to be really valuable. Before the workshop, he was just drowning in random information. He'd read one article that said to invest in this, another that said something completely different. He had no structure. The workshop gave him a clear framework. It looked at the different types of investments and the strategies for long-term investing. James felt like he was no longer wandering in the dark and had a roadmap which leads perfectly into our next takeaway, which is takeaway number 5, a clear step-by-step action plan for James. The workshop didn't just teach theory, it left feeling confident with a step-by-step action plan that he could quickly execute. James didn't just learn concepts, he got a practical, actionable roadmap he could implement immediately. Takeaway number 6 was the walkthrough of the investing app to implement what we learned and build our investment portfolio together. This really helped James to solidify what he had learned and take immediate action and finally get in the game. James learned that he didn't have to have huge sums of money to invest, but could start with as little as £20. And takeaway number 7 was that your money can work for you. The final takeaway, this one is really the mindset shift that changes everything, which is the concept of your money working for you. This was profound for James. Before the workshop, he thought wealth was only built through working harder, getting promotions or side hustles. But James felt that the workshop showed him that there are 2 ways to make money. You're either working for your money or your money's working for you. And the goal is to shift the balance over time so that your money works for you. For example, investing £100 at 10% average annual return after 10 years, total money that you would have invested from your own funds would have been £12,000. Your earnings would be £8,655 on that capital of £12,000 you invested. So your total portfolio value would have been £20,655. Here's why that's so powerful. James realized that if he'd started earlier and known what he knew now, even with smaller amounts, he'd be so much further ahead. But he realized the second best time to start is now. Don't put it off any longer. Your future self will thank you. That's such an important point. You can't get back lost time, but you can start today. And the workshop gave James the confidence, clarity, and knowledge to actually start. Not someday, not when I understand more, but to start now. And imagine feeling in control, not fearing market dips, because you understand it's normal and you know what to do. You're investing for the long term. Think of how powerful that is. To know you're not leaving your financial future to chance or surrendering it to fear anymore. And that's the story James went from confused and paralyzed to confident and invested in just a few weeks. Not because investing is complicated, but because he finally had someone break it down in plain English and give him a clear step-by-step plan to follow. If James's story resonates with you, here's what I want you to do. If you want to learn more about the Investing for Beginners workshop that James went through, I've put a link in the description below. There's an early bird fee opportunity for the first registrations. After that, the fee's going up. Get in the game today. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our practical money content. Second, drop a comment below. What's your biggest barrier to investing right now? And I can make a video around that to explain why you can get over all these barriers. Is your barrier fear, confusion, not knowing where to start? Let's talk about it. Remember, you don't need to be wealthy to invest. You just need to start. And a willingness to take the first step. Your future self is depending on you. Don't let your future self down. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.